Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference Men's Soccer Tournament here at UCF. Our second game of the night. It's the 4th seed, UConn Huskies, against the 5th seed, the Temple Owls. Second game of the night. We've already had our first upset of the tournament here. The first quarterfinal, the 6th seed, Memphis Tigers, marching on, Matt, as they upset the 3rd seed, the USF Bulls.
Well, it was a great performance from Memphis. They did a great job of putting the ball in the back of the net. Salzman from a penalty kick. Mikas, he got the game winner. And then Sanger, he had an assist and the icing on the cake with the 3rd goal tonight for Memphis as they advance.
Well, Temple, upset-minded Owls team. They are young but tough. Very competitive all season. They take on the 20th ranked UConn Huskies.
It's a really tough matchup for Temple tonight. But if they deny charm, time and space, maybe they'll have the ability to get the ball going forwards. But in order to do that, they must be organized both defensively and offensively and play as a team moving together up the pitch.
And UConn, one of the dangerous teams in this conference to make a long postseason run.
Well, the biggest problem in the game of soccer is marrying the urgency of the game with the execution of the game. And last time these two teams met, Coach Ray Reid was not happy with the way his team played. He didn't think they were urgent enough. He needs to make sure that they play from the opening whistle with the urgency needed, but they also need to be efficient in the opportunities they probably will create for themselves.
Well, we'll look at our key players. Lucas Fernandez, second team all-conference.
He's a technical player, has a nose for goal. He has the ability, according to his coach, to break the game open and has the ability to read the game really well. Wonderful technical ability, gets the ball forwards, and then has the vision to find his teammates around him as well.
And UConn with the prolific scorer and Abdou Baki-Cham.
Well, he's one of the best in the conference. He's a wonderful player. Again, a nose for goal, technically gifted, good in the air. Ray Reid says he's almost a total package, with a little smile on the coach's face saying that he has a little bit more work to do. He's an excellent student and a wonderful player and will be missed by UConn as he's a senior, graduating in December.
Always looking to motivate Coach Reid. Well, our starting lineups and the opening kickoff coming up on the American Digital Network.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
This is a classroom.
This is a lab.
This is a study break.
This is our backyard.
This is home.
This is UConn.
And there they are, the participants here at the American Athletic Conference Tournament. We're in the quarterfinals. We've already had an upset, Matt, as Memphis took down USF in quarterfinal number 1. Temple hoping that they can follow that up with another upset. They have never beaten UConn, 0-7-1 all time against the Huskies.
It's going to be a really interesting game. Styles of play will be slightly different between the two teams, as Temple will play an up-tempo game, pressing the issue further up the pitch. Brian Rowland before the game saying that they will be pressing defensively when the opportunity arises.
Justin Hahn is number 12, 2 goals, 2 assists for the sophomore. UConn 10-4-2, 3-2-2 in conference. They are the 4th seed, ranked 20th in the country. They have lost 2 straight, coming in 2-0 to SMU, 2-1 at Tulsa. But before that, they were on a 10-match unbeaten streak. Temple 5-9-4, 2-4-1 in conference. but they have been very competitive. They haven't lost a match by more than 1 goal, and they played 7 overtime goals. So expect to be in a competitive, tight match when you face the Owls.
But a lot of resilient performances this year of the Owls. So never say die attitude that you love as a coach. You want your players to perform. Doesn't always have to be at their best, but if they perform for you, work hard for you.
Yeah, that was Brian Rowland. Excuse me, Matt. See the bio on Coach Rowland. 8 seasons at Maryland. 5 straight conference titles there. 30-game regular season win streak. He's also a member of the Hall of Fame, inducted in 2014 after his playing career at UMBC. Assistant coach Armonte Marshall, Kevin McMullen, and Brian Grazier. UConn trying to track that down to no avail, and there is Coach Reed. He can go on forever with his accolades. There's a few of them. 29th season here, 4 national titles, 400+ victories. There he is, NCAA's second winningest active coach. 8 national semifinals, 9 conference regular season titles, 4 conference tournament titles, 4-time national coach of the year. Just what a career for Coach Ray Reed.
Seen a lot of soccer played. There's Ray Reed.
Associate head coach Mike Miller and John Deely and assistant coach Andy Parker. Well, UConn fans in attendance. We're hooting it up before the start of this one. And we see Temple represented here to our right in front of us in the bleachers. It should be a big crowd Thursday night when the host school UCF plays the late game. They will play the winner of this one. The other semifinal is set with Memphis taking on SMU. So in goal, maybe a bit of a surprise for UConn. Gianluca Catalano, who has only started twice this season. He's conceded 4 goals, 2 saves. He's a freshman from Ontario. He's a member of the Toronto FC Academy. Here come the Huskies in the 18 and poked away. There'll be a throw in right near the corner for UConn. Cross, no white shirts there. But Catalano had 4 starts with Toronto FC2 this season. As we talked about the number of players playing professionally in the USL or MLS.
So many representatives from this conference making it to the next level. And then with the development of players.
Out in front, UConn another opportunity, and that one cleared out of there. So 2 chances built up already by the Huskies.
Trying to exploit the left fullback area of Temple, and they did so beautifully there. Ball played in to Mbaki Jam. You'd have thought he would have put that one in the back of the net, but the touch was almost too good. Got stuck underneath him.
Will he pull the trigger here? Drop from behind. They play on. UConn was Soleil. Right out of the gate, UConn attacking. Soleil on his run. Interrupted and sealed off. Nicely done by Kayet. Pierre Kayet.
Concedes the corner kick. Good work defensively. Never giving up the chase. Number 14. Soleil for UConn, winning the corner kick, forcing the error from Calais.
That'll be Dylan Greenberg, 2 assists on the season, the senior. Second team all-conference, both last year and this season. Greenberg far post in the air, seizing it out of the air. Strong, aggressive play by Lefebvre. Simon Lefebvre. He's only 6'9", 210-pounder out of France. And that's where all that height comes in handy. Balls like that. Amazing.
Landed a little awkwardly, but he used all of his frame there and his size to win that ball really nicely in the air.
Yeah, he could be playing over on opening night at the CFE Arena tonight, where the basketball team opens their season with his size. Two-time goalkeeper of the week in the conference. 16 starts, 19 goals against, 61 saves, 76% save percentage, 4 shutouts. And Haley going to contribute a little more. Haley.
I had a chance to catch up with both of these head coaches in the warm-up, and for UConn head coach Ray Reid in his 22nd season, he thinks the key today is to build rhythm and win the battle in the midfield. And for Temple first-year head coach Brian Rowland, he says his team is best when they have the ball, keeping possession and controlling the tempo.
Thank you, Haley. They're going to have to do that, possession and tempo. That's going to be critical, of course, if they want to pull the upset over the Huskies.
You need to establish your own tempo, your own rhythm. Try and impose your will on your opposition.
Temple, the first time they've been down here near their attacking third. There's a blast from distance sailing over the goal off the foot of Durner. Herman Durner, the German senior, one of the leaders.
UConn just backing off, inviting the shot. Slicing underneath the ball. Hence it goes high and wide of Catalano's net.
Avisa has started 14 times in goal, with Catalano starting only twice. Catalano getting the call here in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament. Long throw in. Challenge from behind. Soleil sent to the deck was Villegas, Helgrim Villegas, a freshman from Sweden. Here's Fernandez. He's throwing it in. We talked about him. He's the free kick for Lucas. 6 goals, 4 assists, 3 game winners on the season. They're going to need a big performance from Lucas. As you mentioned, Matt, the young Chilean junior.
Trying to go short with the free kick. Smart from the captain. Durner puts it out for the throw-in. Make it harder for UConn to get the ball up the pitch. Consequently, Temple are able to get it back with their press.
Miles battling there with Fernandez. UConn, the 4C, but you got to figure they're one of the favorites to take this tournament. 20th in the nation, they are ranked.
So much experience on the field and on the bench. I'm not just talking about the coaches too.
Well, spun down to the turf was Josh Burnett, but good to see Josh okay. Out of Glen Ridge, New Jersey, part of the U.S. under-18 national team, and the Trinidad under-17 national team for Josh. It was a long boot, nearly sent it into the box. Up high, Ngog able to put a head on that one. Blaise Ngog played for the Chad national team. Number 5 is Dayon Harris, one of the key pieces to the Connecticut attack. Second team all conference, 4 goals, 6 assists. There's just stellar credentials throughout this roster, Matt, as you mentioned.
A lot of depth, a lot of athleticism.
Sarver looking for the give and go. Wants it back near the corner. Hahn. And the Owls play it backwards.
Organization there from UConn, getting players behind the ball, forcing the errant pass, and taking away the passing lanes. Temple unable to get beyond the ball. The issue is then forced backwards onto the back line. The Owls trying to keep possession. So patient defending from the Huskies, just trying to force the error going forwards, which they have now done as they now make their way up the pitch.
Burnett with 3 red shirts around him. This is Bilal Muhammad. Gets out of a double team.
Feels like UConn, the touch is letting them down once they get into the attacking half. Seen Mbake Jam, he had 2 missed touches inside the penalty area, and then Burnett there giving up the ball. Unusual to see him having a missed touch in an important area of the field like that.
Temple cross attempt denied. Well defended in that deep corner. That was Dylan Greenberg, one of the best defenders in the conference. Second team all conference. A couple of assists on the year for Dylan. Also part of the U.S. national teams under 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 teams.
Got a couple more to go and he'll have bingo.
That's right. A challenge here.
Of course, the big one he wants is the one that doesn't have a number after it.
That's right.
This has the MNT. The full national team in time. He keeps improving like he can. There's no reason.
Over the top, hard hit, UConn player down.
I think that might be Harris holding the back of his head.
That's Metzler, number 8, is Josh Burnett, who took a shot to the back of the head. Josh pleading with the official there. 5'9" sophomore.
Play has to be stopped with a suspected head injury. It'll be restarted again with a drop ball.
Josh checking for a lump there. Good to see him okay. They'll play it in with Felix Metzler.
Burnett still holding his head. So Ribeiro, the referee, slowing things down. There was the collision that happened. Kayat with the header that went into the back of Mr. Burnett. Surprised he's not being asked to go to the sideline and get looked at by the athletic trainer for Temple, but the referee is letting play continue. Here, drop ball. Expect this ball to go all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Early moments here, quarterfinal number 2. Temple thought might have been a handball there. Metzler, conference newcomer of the year, number 8. The German, just a freshman, second team all conference as well. Goal and assist. Both teams trying to build a rhythm here. A couple of interruptions. We played about 15 minutes now, scoreless. Here comes UConn. Justin Hahn. A foul called at midfield. Slow to get up is Justin. Push from behind there, drop to the turf by Blaze Engak. Huskies at midfield. Looking to build. Select. The ball movement here, well executed by the Huskies as they look for a seam. Robin Lappert, also a second-team All-Conference player. And the defensive player of the year in the conference, number 3, Jacob Hauser-Ramsey. But they were looking for their star, Lucas Fernandez. He tried to back heel that one and collect it.
Been impressed with both teams so far. Defensively, they are very organized. Players getting behind the ball quickly, closing down passing lanes, not allowing the space over the top for the long ball to drop in behind the back four.
Soleil plays it back to his keeper, Catalano. Most of the action around midfield the last 10 minutes or so, but here come the Owls attacking with Hahn. Sliding play and whistle. We've had numerous players down. This time it's Andres Charles Barrera.
Barrera getting the full weight of Engard there. I thought Engard was a little lucky not to get the foul called against him a little earlier. But the referee indicated that he won possession of the ball. And going in for the 50-50. Engard was a little bit late on the challenge. Silly, really, from the midfielder for UConn. Just understand that the play's going away from his goal. Doesn't need to force the issue. There's the one I thought he got away with, but he certainly got the ball. And then leaving his feet there, both players coming in completely committed to the challenge. And I think that's why a yellow card has not been issued. The referee's got a yellow whistle in his hand, so it looks like he has a card in his hand, which is a little bit confusing, but it is just the whistle that's been blown. 10 yards is marked off.
Fernandez, free kick, serves it into the box, in the air. Again headed as UConn tries to clear it. And now earns the goal kick.
It was a tough position for a free kick. It was very central in the pitch. Can't really create any angle on the service. Temple did well with that to create the angle, try and head the ball back across the grain of goal. And then UConn paying attention, keeping aware of the second phase coming in, able to clear the danger and earn the goal kick.
Now Zach Brown high in the air. The junior is 6'3", very strong in the air. Has a goal this season. Here come the Owls. Hahn. Long lead pass coming out to boot it away. Catalano.
Well read by the goalkeeper. The central defenders were beaten. Hauser-Ramsey and Lampert.
Jump in from the left. Pass, turn, shot, and wide left. Nice attack from UConn.
Dangerous on the counter attack of the Huskies. Down the flank, pulling the ball back. Look at the first touch from Jam. He knows where the goal is. Deflected out by Kayet for the corner. It's 3 good moments that Jam has had in the box, and somehow, some way, Temple have managed to keep him off the score sheet.
That hit the back of the defender's foot. Another Husky player down as they were trying to position themselves, set up for the corner kick. That appears to be Metzler.
I'm not sure what happened, but he went down very quickly, holding his face.
Not much flow in this one due to all the collisions and some theatrics. Let's see what happened here. Oh, looks like he slapped him in the face.
It was a slap.
Bilal Muhammad delivered the right. The official's going to call him over. I assume that was a retaliation. Couldn't really see what happened before that.
Well, if that's not seen by the officials, Muhammad is a very lucky boy to still be on the pitch.
Yeah.
Metzler and a touch of the flopsies.
Yeah, they missed it. You can see the dismay on Metzler's face.
They're still going after each other. Need to be more composed, both players. You don't want to be getting silly yellow or red cards costing your team.
In swinger, still in the air. And it was Muhammad to clear it, sent back in. Mainly red shirts to deny it. Good hustle by Fernandez.
The daft thing about that is if Metzler doesn't go to ground as if he's been laid out by Muhammad Ali,
Yeah,
he probably could talk the referee into giving Muhammad a yellow card, but because he was play acting, he probably talked the referee out of the decision of a yellow card.
You're saying it wasn't a Muhammad Ali strike, but a Bilal Muhammad. Inside, here they come. Again, blocked. High in the air. UConn, right on the cusp here. And Gog. Looking back to Burnett. He settles it. There's the service. Headed away.
Yeah, the coaching staff of UConn yelling at the players, watch the counter. Good sustained possession from the Huskies, drawing their players further up the pitch. They have to be aware that if they do have a missed pass, Temple can break quickly.
Intercepted. Counter attack. Kind of stymied there. Temple regains. Hahn. Fernandez deep in the corner. Played off by Lapperts.
Fernandez just a little short-sighted there. Didn't have anywhere to go with the ball. In the end, it was well defended by the Huskies. It's exactly what the coaching staff of UConn were worried about, was that quick counter-attack that Temple are capable of.
Temple throw in right in front of Coach Reed. What do you think Coach Reed's impression of the first 20 minutes is, Matt? Oh, good steal here. I know he's going to like that, but then unable to connect moving forward with Jam.
I don't think he's a happy camper right now, the head coach for UConn, but I don't think he's completely upset with the way his team's playing. They've had some good moments. Jam's been found in the box 3 times, but hasn't found a good shooting opportunity as of yet, so that's pleasing. We haven't seen Harris in the play very much on the right flank. I think in the main, I think Coach Reed will be happy with the way his team's playing. The organization's good defensively, and their commitment to the ball has also been very good as well. Just some better choices need to be made as far as the 50-50 balls are concerned and when to make the challenges.
Well, these two teams played October 20th at UConn. The Huskies winning 2-1 in that one. Villegas scored the lone goal for Temple. And they haven't lost a match by more than 1 goal, so you know you're in for a fight. With the Owls, 7 overtime games, excuse me. And offsides. Bucky Jam broke free.
I love the way that Engel plays the game in the midfield. Number 19 for UConn. Uses his body really well just to shield players off of the ball. Winning challenges. And plays simply once he does have possession. Finds a teammate. On that occasion it was Burnett who tried to feed Bucky Jam, who just strolled offsides.
Well, the winner of this gets UCF, and Temple upset the Knights here on this field way back in September on the 21st, 1-0. UConn played a draw against UCF on October 12th, no score. Here come the Owls on the attack. Inside the 18, the shot blocked, looped up, and a score! Fortuitous for the Temple Owls, and they have taken the lead. Bilal Muhammad.
He might not have been on the pitch.
Yeah.
Had a talking to after he slapped the face of Metzler. And then has a moment of brilliance, gets into the box, takes the shot. The deflection is fortuitous, but you make your own luck in this game. He runs to the bench to celebrate with his teammates. It can be deflating to have such a deflection go against you, but there's nothing the goalkeeper could do. He'd come out to stop the shot if it had been powerful and missed the defender. Because of his positioning, he couldn't get back to the goal line and deflect that one out.
Bilal Muhammad, his 2nd goal of the season. The senior from Allentown, Pennsylvania. And Catalano just unfortunate there. Not much he could do. He tried to scramble back as that one just deflected and blooped over his head. UConn attacking.
Just unlucky.
Excuse me.
Unlucky all the way around for UConn there. But just allowed the attacker to get ahead of steam. Hauser Ramsey trying to block the shot. Comes off the back of his left heel, looping over the goalkeeper. In fairness, there have to be better challenges made outside of the box to stop the attack before it gets to that point.
On the deck. Like another corner kick for UConn. Herman Durner was there to break it up as Bucky Jam in a conversation with Justin Hahn. Dayan Harris in swinger, straight out front, volleyed out of the air, nearly put in just wide off of the foot of Jope.
Player's reaction says it all. That was a gilt-edged opportunity going begging wide of the upright. Doesn't even make the goalkeeper work. Job would have seen that late over the heads of a whole slew of players. Try to do too much with it. Open his right hip up and ends up missing the goal completely.
Temple scrambling back. They lead 1-0 on the goal by Muhammad. UConn building again. They've definitely had command of the possession time and chances. And here is another one. Just losing it there off his foot was Yates. Stephen Yates, freshman from Ontario.
Had some tricky moves inside the box, did Yates. Didn't quite come off. Both coaches are going deeper into the bench now.
This is Jalen Campbell, part of the American Conference all-rookie team. 6'1" freshman from Ontario. Quite a number of talented Canadian soccer players in the conference. There's another sub, this one for UConn. Cole Venner, freshman from Burlington, Vermont. Played at the Berkshire School, two-time high school All-American watch list while he was there, redshirt freshman. Jope departs with Venner coming on. Huskies. Oh, off the back heel, sensational pass, and they have tied it. Nope. Offsides comes up. Well, what a pretty play by UConn. And Dayon Harris nearly found the equalizer.
It was a sensational pass and nearly a sensational goal, except for the flag. Lefebvre coming out, almost flinching as the shot was taken by Harris. Goalkeeper could only deflect it into his net, but saved the blushes as the flag goes up. That must have been a really close call against Harris.
Bucky Job, 7th in the nation with 13 goals. He also has 6 assists. And the Owls with another chance, but they are whistled for offsides as well.
Game starting to open up a little bit. A cagey affair for the first 35 minutes of this match. The goal goes in and UConn are chasing the game now, which means that there's some space to be exploited for Temple going forwards. But they have to be careful not to leave the gaps for this talented UConn team to exploit also.
Leppert advancing to midfield. And that ball deflects out of bounds. And for Temple, replacing Hahn is Leandros Lillis, a junior from Cyprus. Has played for the under 21, 19, 17, and 15 teams from Cyprus. Collision there will go against Harris. Kaya with the left foot all the way into the 18. So UConn trailing here, just nearing 14 minutes remaining in the half. And a half, really, UConn could be leading. They've had a couple of extraordinary chances built up. Definitely command and possession and opportunities. Taken away nicely down by Sarver.
Just watching the way Temple are playing. Coach Rowland said that they'd be playing a high press today. It's now that they've got the go-ahead goal. Press has been called off a little bit. Villegas is being left up top on his Todd to chase the play. Lillis will be joining him as well. foul.
That'll go against UConn. I think we may have a yellow. And down holding his leg is Barrera.
Might be that whistle again. It's going to be driving everybody up here nuts in the press box every time he puts it.
With the yellow whistle, huh?
Yeah. It's a yellow card coming out.
Looks like a fishing lure. Hope it doesn't have a hook on it, though. You see the contact there.
Again, just
sliding tackle by Metzler.
Two players committed to the ball. Didn't warrant a yellow. My money.
Goal scorer, Bilal Muhammad.
Well, the card is definitely in the hand now. Looks like it has been issued to Metzler of UConn.
The first yellow card of the match. Served to Metzler. For one for the Owls. Coming up to take it, Nick Sarver. On the Temple President's honor roll. Cross, headed, and hit the post. Well done by the Owls, and they nearly had number 2. In the air. And booted out of there. The scrappy Temple Owls threatening again.
Well, that was a really well worked play. Lillis, I thought he'd lost the opportunity to cross the ball. Sends in the cross, and I think it was Villegas with the header moving away from the goal. Somehow got enough power to send the looping effort towards Catalano's goal.
A good
Here's
look
the
here.
cross coming in, moving away from the goal.
Ooh, so close.
Goalkeeper was beaten all ends up.
Another cross, Muhammad.
That's the cross you need to be wary of. Invites the counter attack. It's behind your attackers, your forward runners, and in front of the defenders. With a good clearing header, it allows your team to get on the front foot.
Settle, shot, and that is high. A good look there by Durner. Herman looking for his first goal of the season.
Some good effort here. Two crosses coming in. Again, off of the foot of Lillis. Deflected onto the chest of Durner. Just couldn't wait long enough for that ball to come down for the full volley to go underneath the crossbar.
Catalano under fire here over the past few minutes. A good battle out there. Whistle finally blows. It'll go on Durner on his challenge. Sent to the turf was Cole Venner.
Well, Durner did really well using his body, trying to find a way to win the ball. And then a little bit of frustration from the captain. Goes in hard on the challenge with Venner. Gives away the free kick. And done everything right up until that point.
Harris. UConn a little bit on their heels over the past 5 to 10 minutes. Trying to build up an attack here. Dayon Harris. A little hesitation move and lost control.
Temple playing a 4-4-2. Leaving Lillis and Villegas up top to chase things down as far as the back line of UConn are concerned. But other than that, Temple are trying to get behind the ball, keep good shape. If they're able to then make sure they don't get their outside backs isolated against the likes of Harris. And I think defensively, Coach Rowland will be very happy with what he's seeing from his squad as we near the completion of the first 45 minutes.
Lefebvre able to grab that on one hop. 6'9", 210-pound junior out of France. Huskies leading Harris. Couldn't get by, just getting a foot on that one as Harris turned inside, and Kayat was there. But corner kick for the Huskies as they try to find the equalizer here before halftime.
There was the isolation on the outside. Harris was in good position. Sava didn't really know whether to push up or stay. Ended up getting caught between the two and was passed around. Kayat did a good job to come over and cover his position.
Greenberg, far post. UConn maneuvering in the 18, served back in and guided off. Strong defensive play there by the Owls, keeping Lappert away from that ball. It was Pierre Kayat. Another corner kick. Greenberg will run over again here to the near corner. You see Maki Jam, who has been held in check. Greenberg service high in the air. Venner to his left. Mohammed has been all over this pitch. Tallying the lone goal.
Manson with the missed touch as the ball goes out wide. Just thinking about the cross before the ball was even on his foot. He's just settled down a little bit. Take his time on the ball.
Harrison Soleil working the near sideline.
Nice organization on the double team there between Mohammed and Saleh and Sava.
Coach Rowland will insert another substitute in a moment. Matt Trepanier coming in a moment. Working out of the corner. Yates. They switch it. Greenberg. Oh, beautiful move. Got through 3 defenders, but no more. Sending it back in. Greenberg again, relentless. Cross and a score. We are tied. Relentless work by UConn.
It may have been an own goal. There was a slew of players in red at the near post as the ball comes in. It was Venner that played the ball across. Ball could have been cleared. It was Kayat at the near post. Harris was there. The play had to be made by the central defender. It was an own goal by Kayat, number 24, Temple. So unfortunate. But he had to make the play. If he doesn't try to make a play on that ball, Harris is putting it in the back of the net.
Yes.
That whole play started. It was good sustained possession from UConn. Don't take me wrong, but Villegas had the opportunity to clear that ball up the pitch. Tries to play out of danger. ends up turning the ball over right at the start of the attacking third for UConn. And once the ball got to Venner, he knew exactly what he was doing. Gets to the byline, plays a dangerous ball across to the near post, and it gets deflected in. Saw it in the first game. Memphis gets the tying goal shortly before the halftime break. UConn able to match those efforts in this match, tying this one up 1 apiece right before halftime.
A relentless work there by Venner, Greenberg, and Harris. And it results in a goal, and here they come again. That hit the post, rebounded, and launched over the goal. As UConn, no let up here. Harris launching that one. Get a good look here.
Well, Venner just tiptoeing through the tulips. Gets the ball across. Yates with the shot off of the crossbar. And Harris puts it well over. And Venner has been a real thorn in the side of Temple since he came on. Did a really good job on that left flank, causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah, Coach Reed, he thought that may have been a goal. That was at the UConn sideline. In an uproar there.
Definitely didn't go anywhere near the goal line, so
no,
it was not a goal. But the reactions of the players, Venner, Yates, and Bakejam, had their head in their hands in disappointment. The fur of the goalkeeper gave a thankful look to the crossbar.
Temple able to clear that one. Under 3 minutes remain in the first half. Greenberg into the box. So UConn really pressuring, turning up the tempo and the pace. When Temple back on their heels, UConn will sub in Nkosi Burgess, the junior out of Deer Park, New York, momentarily. And here they come again. Shot and a save. A little spillage there, but able to collect. They test the big man, Lefebvre, down low, and he was able to protect. Dayon Harris.
Good goalkeeping there from Lefebvre. Did a really good job getting down to his near post. It was a clever shot from Harris. Put it where the only place he could put it, because the defender was right in front of him. Low driven shot, the goalkeeper, even though he mishandled it at the first attempt. With good technique, getting the body behind the ball.
Harris transfer from Penn State, 4 goals, 6 assists on the season. Bakejam launches from distance. A wide left.
A little frustration there from the star of UConn. He's had some moments in the box, but as yet nothing really to speak of as far as shots towards the target.
Under a minute now. Tied at 1. 2 fortuitous goals, 1 for each team. Muhammad off of a block that deflected high and landed over the head of the keeper, Catalano. So Harris departs as Burgess comes in, and we have another UConn player injured. They're calling for the athletic training crew to take a look at Ngag. And then an own goal. Ooh, that's shot hip to the side of the face.
That one did not feel good. Jalen Campbell there with the challenge. You see Ngag and just looking up at the ball, fully concentrated on where it was coming from. And then all of a sudden he looks over and sees the backside of the freshman coming straight towards his face.
The clock has stopped 41 seconds to play in the half. This one tied at an own goal. And that is where we stand. Coach Reed looks on and got to his feet. Good to see as they get some fluids in him. Plays a sophomore from France.
Thumbs up from the athletic trainer. Says Engo's good to go.
It's good to see.
He's played a good first half as that young man. So he uses his body well, reads the game. Once he's on the ball, he plays it simply, which is what you want from one of your central midfielders. You don't want them dribbling the ball too much. You just want them to get the ball and find somebody else to do something with it.
.30 seconds remain. Temple will throw in. They'll take their time. That ball hit out of the hands by Soleil, as Sarver was preparing to throw it in.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
The first half will close locked at 1, as was game 1 of the quarterfinals. Memphis went on to win it 3-1 with 2 late goals. Both quarterfinal games tied at 1 as we go to the half. And Haley is ready with Coach Reed.
Coach, your team was able to keep applying pressure offensively. What did you think your offense did well to create chances in that first half?
The whole team just after getting the goal pressed forward to get the equalizer. We could have more. I thought our guys did a good job.
What will be the key to keeping Temple off the board in the second half?
We just got to continue to keep the ball and press them.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Coach Reed and Haley. The teams head to the locker room, tied at 1 here on the American Men's Soccer Conference Tournament.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle, a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health.
And promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Scores! 3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year.
Hueso from 30.
Unbelievable.
And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
This is a classroom.
This is a lab.
This is a study break.
This is our backyard.
This is home.
This is UConn.
In just 5 seasons, storied programs have united as a Power Six conference. We've watched record breakers, All-Americans, and victories that prove we are not only equal to the best, but often better. Can you imagine what's ahead for this Power Six conference? We can, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The American, powered by determination.
We have another good one here in the quarterfinals. Locked up at 1, the 4 and 5 seeds. The Owls and the Huskies at the half of the American Athletic Conference tournament here at UCF.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle, a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
Officials,
student athletes,
Coaches and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
Profanities or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American, power for life.
The American, power for life.
strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Discovery. It can come from any direction, in places new and familiar, but often starts from within.
Big changes are on the way.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Cueto from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
This is a classroom.
This is a lab.
This is a study break.
This is our backyard.
This is home.
This is UConn.
In just 5 seasons, storied programs have united as a Power 6 conference. We've watched record breakers, All-Americans, and victories that prove we are not only equal to the best, but often better. Can you imagine what's ahead for this Power 6 conference? We can, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The American, powered by determination.
Hey, welcome back. You are looking at UCF Soccer and Track Stadium, tied at 1 here in the second quarterfinal game. Temple and UConn. Very physical start to this one, Matt.
Really physical game, as you'd expect, with so much on the line. Strong play from both sets of players, committed to the effort, and then Derner with the shot high and wide. And Bucky jumped, so tricky in the box, deflected wide on this attempt from Kayet. And then a little bit lucky on the bounce. He got a head of steam going into the box. There was your goal scorer, Belai Mohammed, for Temple. And then Venner came off of the bench, tricky in the box, plays the ball into the near post area. Kayet had to make a play on the ball because Harris was lurking. Venner with the celebration with his teammates. Dejection from the central defender of the Temple Owls. As I said, he had to make a play. If he didn't, Harris would have scored anyway.
And that's where we stand as we prepare for second half action. Will we have another upset? Temple trying to take down UConn.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle, a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American, power for life.
The American, power for life.
strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with 1 drop.
Change starts with 1 person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health.
And promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Bernie scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Hueso from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Both teams back on the pitch, and Brian Rowland is with Haley.
Coach, after giving up that goal late in the first half, what does the response need to be of your team to get this second half started off strong?
I think we just need to come back out how we started the game and kind of retake the game a little bit to them. I think we conceded a little bit too much space towards the end of the half, and certainly they're a capable team. So we're going to try to get back on the front foot and really, take the first 5 minutes and really push the game a little bit more.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Haley and Coach Rowland. So what adjustments you see? We heard Coach Rowland. What do you think, Coach Reed? His strategy is going to be moving forward.
I think for UConn, As he said, going into the locker room at halftime, he wants his team to continue pressing. Don't allow Temple any time on the ball. Force the issue further up the pitch. UConn, late in this first half, were getting on the ball a lot better, showing their technical ability going forwards. Venner in particular was very dangerous on the left flank. He remains in the game to start the second half. And for Temple, they just need to maintain their composure, maintain their organization, take away the width that UConn is trying to create.
A huge advantage for UConn. 6-0 in corner kicks. Temple had 5 shots overall in the first half, and the Huskies had 8. Temple committed 5 fouls, 3 on UConn, and 1 save for Lefebvre, and no official saves for UConn.
There's the big man jogging to the goal to our left.
Well, you're definitely not going to beat him high, huh? 6'9".
Doing the math, 15 inches between the top of his head and the crossbar. I think I got my math right.
I'm not going to doubt you. Underway, second half. We've had 1 upset already here. 6-seeded Memphis takes down the 3rd seed USF. That match was tied at 1 at the break as well, and stayed tied all the way through the first 25 minutes of the second stanza.
On the 4-5 matchup, it wouldn't be much of an upset as far as the seeding in this tournament is concerned, but in the bigger picture, with overall records brought into account, UConn's ranking, it certainly would be an upset.
Right, 20th in the country. Temple has never beaten UConn, 0-7-1 versus the Huskies. But you play this Owl team, and Coach Rowland, you know it's going to be close. Touched on it before. Hasn't lost a match by more than 1 goal this season, and has forced overtime 7 times. Here come the Huskies. Harris pushes it out wide. Bucky John tried to settle it, and Temple unable to clear it all the way. Good challenge and takeaway by the Owls on the attack. Waiting for some help. UConn able to stymie the attack with Lappert.
Like the way Bucky John there, just checking back to the ball, making himself available to feet. Takes the pressure off the central midfield. He's then able to play the ball out wide, easily keeping the possession for UConn.
Metzler back on the pitch, finds Greenberg. Good passing by UConn. Was that punched away by Parole, who's in for the first time tonight. Akeem Parole, 6-footer out of Jamaica. Venner continues on the pitch after being inserted off of the bench in the first half. Was an impact player certainly for Coach Reed, setting up the UConn goal. That's Lappert, the sophomore from France. Transfer out of the University of Charleston Division II program. He won the championship there last season as part of that squad. And he achieved second team American Athletic Conference this season. That was a Ramsey Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. He was first team all-conference last year as well. Out of Seattle, Washington.
Like those long, searching diagonal balls. Venner corralling the ball, and Prahl down low on the challenge. UConn trying to switch the point of attack quickly with those long balls.
A chip pass denied from Yates.
This is going to be the challenge for Temple, though, as they drop back defensively. They're trying to stay together as a team, but if you get too compact, too deep, it becomes very difficult to spring the counter. Justin Hahn has to try and stay a little bit higher so he can be the outlet. If he can get on the ball, then his team might be able to join him on the attack. That was a very clever flick pass there from Mbaki Jam, almost sprung Harris.
It was. Great touch. That foul will be called in the air. Go on Temple and Campbell. Jalen has a couple words for the official. Quickly put in play. Dylan Greenberg.
Oh, a little disjointed at the moment. Both sets of teams coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, somewhat similar to the way this match started before this game started to flow towards the middle of the end of that first half. But very physical to start.
Well, it's like the conversations with the referee, Jalen Campbell, that being told off for jumping in on the play and rolling his eyes at Mr. Ribeiro. Here's the challenge. Metzler going in, holding his ground. Campbell over the top. Frustrated that the foul goes against him. But after the free kick, Temple do well to come away with the ball.
Muhammad on the attack. Into the corner. Good speed by Parole. Gets the cross off. Well, Lappert was there to put it high in the air. And a shove just outside of the box. No call. You hear the Temple sideline begging for one.
I like that whole play from Temple. Prahl getting into the attacking third. Hahn realizing he was in an offside position, clears out of the way, allows Prahl to make a good cross. Campbell, though, had run across the face of the goalkeeper to the near post. And in the end, just runs underneath the ball.
Venner. Creative. And Gog battling. Baki Jam trying to find some space. There's the cross. Denied out of there by Kayat.
Communication for UConn on the attack. Going with the dummy, letting the ball get out to the wide areas. Saleh trying to cross it in.
UConn has Temple spread out and scrambling a bit.
So Temple just need to be patient on the defense. Track the runners, close down the passing lanes, and don't jump in.
Attacking into the 18 now. There's the cross. The turn blocked by Kayat.
Just as I said, they don't need to jump in on the challenge. Prahl gets beaten. UConn exploit the left flank and almost get a great opportunity. Kayat getting the ball away.
This launch from distance will roll harmlessly away. Let's look at the block, Matt.
Ball played across. Well done by the defender there. standing tall, standing strong, making sure that Lefebvre is not going to be challenged.
Catalano getting his third start of the season.
There's a little frustration from Fernandez on the shot.
And that's through the shot and hits the side of the net. So close from Harris.
Well, that was just route one off of the clearance from the goalkeeper. Ball flicked forwards. And Harris, the angle was narrow. Trying to beat the goalkeeper to the near post. Just rattles the side netting. UConn showing that they're able to get into the attack more ways than one.
Temple trying to build one of their own. Charles Barrera. And Durner has been in the middle of the action all night. That bender in the air, coming out and taking a hit from Fernandez was Catalano. They're checking on Gianluca.
More frustration from Fernandez. Disappointed on his effort. It's tough to pull out of those challenges, but Fernandez needs to do a better job of making an attempt at least. Realized that he wasn't going to get to the header and then continues to follow through into the goalkeeper. He's a little lucky that the card did not come out of the pocket.
Well, Fernandez has 3 game-winning goals this season. He's tied for 4th in the conference in that category. Fernandez, very efficient. 46 shots on the season, 24 on target. And got muscled off that ball. And there's the whistle. We'll go on Han. Has been physical most of the night. These two teams going at each other.
Angog spared the blushes there as this ball comes in. I thought Hahn had the position. Angog takes his legs away as he goes to ground. You say that Hahn is upset by that, and rightly so. Angog essentially just gave up possession with it. Trying to be too cute at the top of his defensive third.
Venner to his left. There's the cross. Chip back in, headed into the lap of the keeper Lefebvre.
UConn continued to have some joy down their left flank. Prohl brought in to try and shore things up in the right back area for Temple. Still combining the passes. Venner getting into the attacking third, and then Yates on the ensuing cross. And disappointment for the number 11. He's been close, but as yet, no success for the main man for UConn.
We talked about Temple's number 11. Fernandez's 3 game-winning goals. How about Baki Jam? 6 game-winning goals for the senior from Senegal. United Soccer All-East second team last season. First team All-American Conference this season. The future is bright for Baki Jam. If they add his name to that list of professional players from the American Athletic Conference next year.
Mr. Ribeiro needs to gain control here. Tough challenges all over the pitch. Bodies hitting the ground. Coach Rowland to his feet, looks on.
UConn has lost their last two, 2-0 to SMU, and then 2-1 at Tulsa. But again, that came after a 10-match unbeaten streak.
Mr. Ribeiro asking Barrera to come over and have a word. Ray Reid looks on, wondering what's going on. Yellow card has been issued, and Barrera managed to talk himself into the book, at the very least, by not coming over and having a word with Mr. Ribeiro. I mean, it's a yellow card. This is a clumsy challenge and late as Harris trying to get down the flank. Barrera did not do his case any good. Did not help his case any by taking his time to come across and speak to the referee.
So Andres, who was part of the all-rookie team here in the conference, part of the Canadian under-18 national team, Charles Barrera, sees the yellow. Coach Reid looking on, hoping his talented team can advance. They would play the 1 seed and the host, the UCF Knights, on Thursday night. Haley's got an update on the Owls.
It's been a physical matchup so far, and Temple assistant coach Armonte Marshall yelling to his team, it's getting too emotional, settle down and relax.
All right, good stuff, Haley. And here come the Owls.
It's a good message from the sideline.
Yeah.
So much is riding on your organization and your concentration. You have to remain focused. And at that point, you have to take emotion out of it a little bit.
Maki Jam looking for an angle. Tries to put out front. It was well sealed off by the Temple defense.
Kaya must be having nightmares with those balls down, down in that area of the pitch.
He's had a solid game. That one unfortunate own goal.
Coach Rowland's going to his bench, bringing Lillis and Villegas back into the match.
Harris shifting gears, puts on a strike, punched out of there by Lefebvre. Well, Dayon, he changes speeds so quickly.
It's wonderful acceleration and a strong cross. Goalkeeper had to be equal to it. Good clearing punch from Lefebvre.
And Gog, who played for the Chad national team, plays with a goal and an assist this season. Harris again from that right flank, tries to turn left this time, and as it picked, good defense. Into the corner, on the run for Hahn. Flag is up.
Tried to stay on side, adjusting the run, and at the last moment straying into the offside position.
Quick throw in for UConn. Yates was on the under-17 Canadian national team. Coach Reid doing a solid job recruiting up north of the border.
Greenberg's trying to get into the game as the left fullback for UConn, but getting a little frustrated that the ball's not finding its way to his feet as far as the UCF.
The new side. Represented, but yeah, we expect a ton of fans here Thursday night. Harris to the left this time. His cross headed back to him. Zach Brown. And he's head on that one.
Trying to see where Vanier is. He may have gone over to the other side of the pitch. Coach Reed trying to shake things up a little bit on the offensive side. Vanier can come in onto his left foot and have a shot. He is on the right flank now for UConn.
Owls building an attack. They haven't really been able to push into their attacking third. That one didn't get through. And here come the Huskies. Harris dancing, leaves it to Greenberg. His cross cleared away. That unable to connect with a teammate.
Greenberg's been itching to get forwards. Does so really, really well. The cross is exactly where it needs to be, but the runs were not.
Greenberg with a couple of assists this season. Second team all-conference.
He's been wanting to stretch his legs going forwards. You see from his body language at times, he's getting frustrated. He's not seeing a lot of the ball.
Aki Jam, a shot and a goal! Harris volleyed in. Baki Jam sent it in out front. And Dayon Harris has been flirting with his 5th goal of the season all evening long. And he has it to give UConn the lead.
That's what makes the two defenders.
Gorgeous.
And then the one-time finish, deft of touch with the right boot. Beautifully done by Harris.
Beautiful. Baki Jam and Dayon Harris give UConn the 2-1 lead.
Wonderful ball played in. Can't give him much space on the ball. He'll pick you apart if you give him time and space. And he does exactly that. Delivers it on a platter. Harris knew exactly what to do with it.
Perfectly executed by UConn.
That's one of those special goals. It won't be considered necessarily for goal of the season because it isn't spectacular from distance, but it is spectacular because of the passing, because of the movement, and the subtle finish was something to behold.
Temple at a critical point of this match now, trying to respond. It's nearing just 20 minutes remaining. Lillis
had the opportunity to pass the ball out to Gaynor on the right-hand side.
That's a nice through ball. The cross and seized there out of the air by Catalano. And Tyler Gaynor served that out front.
Gaynor just needs to turn the hips a little bit more through the ball. That will pull the ball away from the goalkeeper. I would like to see Fernandez, if possible, on the timing of the run, get across the face of the goalkeeper. Credit to Catalano, made no mistake at his near post.
2-1 our score. The goal from Dayon Harris. And here's Fernandez. 1v1. And there's the whistle. Well, he was well checked by Dylan Greenberg. Fernandez tried to go around him and ended up putting both hands on the shoulders.
Just trying to tell Greenberg, hey, I appreciate your defense. Let me give you a hug for it. There's the hands on the shoulder. Not allowed. And frustration from Fernandez. A shake of the head from Greenberg in frustration, but in truth, the free kick allows UConn to make some seconds tick by and allows UConn to maintain good defensive shape.
Substitute as Hahn returns.
Tactical change here for Ryan Rowland.
He replaces Gaynor.
Gaynor coming off. He was the right fullback. See where Justin Hahn goes. He plays in a forward role for Temple.
"17 minutes for the Owls. As the score stands right now, that was the final when these two teams met on the 20th of October at UConn. Here come the Huskies. That ball a little bit off target. Put in by Soleil.
Love watching the runs of good forwards. And Bakejam was at the far post. Took 2 steps towards the byline just to get the attention of the defender, and then checks back towards the penalty spot. And because of his initial movement, he found himself in space.
Bakejam feeds it to the right. And the blast, and a score. 3-1. UConn with Cole Venner.
He's been a thorn in the side of Temple since he came on in the first half. It was his play that led to the own goal. And Bakejam lays the ball out to the right. Venner checks to his left. Takes one more touch for good measure. Wrong foot's the goalkeeper. Lefebvre is anticipating the shot across his face towards the goalkeeper's right. Venner realizes that and puts it to the near post. Frustration from the keeper as he boots the ball high in the air. And a little bit of breathing room for the Huskies.
So Cole Venner, his second goal of the season. A redshirt freshman. Bakejam, his second assist. As number 7 and number 8 for Abdu. Dayon Harris with the other score for UConn, his 5th goal of the season, and they had their first score was an own goal, blocked in the first half by Temple.
So if I've done my math right, UConn now have 28 goals on the season. And Bakejam has been involved in 21 of those goals. You'd say he's a little bit important to what UConn do.
Yeah. What did Coach Reed say about him? He's, what did he say, almost complete? Does that?
He had this very big wry smile on his face. So he's the complete package, and he just looked at me and said, almost.
15 minutes. Scoring very similar to the game one. Tied 1-1, and then 2 late goals scored to separate the two teams. And quarterfinal number 1, it was Memphis surprising USF by this score, 3-1. Came a little bit later than the scoring here in this one. Bakejam didn't get all that one, and it hit the top of the ball. Otherwise, it might have been 4-1.
Well, Yates pulled up a little bit as he was advancing the ball into the attacking third, stretched out his calf. So he putting his arm up in the air. He's giving the bench the thumbs up that he's okay, but Coach Reed's going to his bench, getting ready to bring on Burnett and Jop.
We heard Memphis talking about, now it's about recovery, getting ready to take on SMU on Thursday. Here come the Huskies again, relentless here. But for UConn, it'll be similar. How big advantage is that bye in the first round, Matt?
It's huge. I mean, these guys have gone through a long season, sometimes playing multiple games in the week. It takes a toll to play the game at this level. So competitive, so physical. It becomes about how many minutes can you take out of the legs of these players at this point. And it's not just about this tournament, it's about the next stage as well for these teams.
Semifinals played Thursday late afternoon and evening, and then the final Saturday at 7. You're asking a lot of a team. I think that particularly by that third match, 3 matches in 6 days.
Mr. Ribeiro blowing the whistle, halting play. Player down in the box for UConn.
Dylan Greenberg
reaching out the legs.
Maybe cramping here in the humidity. Certainly not quite as uncomfortable as the earlier game, but still humid conditions here. Warm temps here. November evening in Orlando.
It's a little misconceiving as well, because it doesn't feel all that hot and all that uncomfortable. It feels almost pleasant down there, and you can be a little reticent as a player to take on the fluids on board that you would normally take on earlier in the season.
Well, the heat didn't aid USF at all in game 1. They were the team that was accustomed to these conditions this time of year. Well, Greenberg says, I'm okay. Venner coming to the sideline. I'll send him back in. Let's see if Harris taking this opportunity to hydrate.
It's interesting, as play was stopped because Greenberg was down. The athletic training staff didn't come on. The question is, does he have to exit because play was stopped so that he could get attention from the goalkeeper? But he's allowed to continue. He would have been waved on anyway really quickly, but
Jope getting set to come back.
And Greenberg's okay. Moved well enough on that sliding challenge.
Owls need a goal here. Under a dozen minutes. Get back to within striking distance. If this score holds, it'll be the first time all season that Temple will lose by more than 1 goal. Well, our windows are all steamed up. You see the air conditioning in here and the humidity outside. Good thing we've got a monitor here to look at, Matt. There's a cross off the back heel put up into the air. And cleared away. No quit in this Owl team. They are fighting hard here, trying to get back in it.
Throwing players forwards with Gay abandoned now at Temple, trying to find a way to score a goal and get back in this game.
Mohammed for Han. And Jope in for UConn. He replaces Cole Venner. But what a spark Cole Venner gave this team. Came in as a sub in the first half.
His impact on the game, he's making a case for himself to be the MVP of this game if things play out as they are.
Yeah, he was critical setting up that own goal. It was his cross on its way to Harris, which was deflected into the back of the net by Temple. And then he scored the third goal.
Mbeke John might say, hey, wait a minute, I got 2 assists on the evening. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, and drawing most of the Temple defense away from others.
Likes of Harris, Venner.
Yeah.
Makes life rather easy for those around him.
Just 9 minutes left in this one. Exciting start to this tournament. Both games go late into the second half, locked up at 1 apiece. And almost identical. It was Memphis tallying 2 late goals. Came later in that one. UConn scoring 2 here in the second half.
And Temple will be a little frustrated with this one. I feel like it's a game that they let it get away from them, leading by a goal. Just ended up getting too defensive minded on occasion, on their heels too much, nothing going forwards, inviting the pressure. And when you're going up against a team that is as experienced as UConn, that pressure can be made to tell, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
This is a good young group, though, that Coach Rowland has put together with the Owls. Big upside. Right now they don't have the weapons that obviously a team like UConn has attacking.
Okay, John coming a long way back into the midfield to collect the ball. It's the first time we've seen him that deep in the game. He's done a good job of staying high as the release valve for UConn going forwards. The Huskies will keep this ball on the goalkeeper's feet as long as possible.
No rush night right now for Catalano and the Huskies. Lefebvre looking for a quick outlet. Decides to boot it about 2/3 downfield.
That's where you have to be smart of your UConn. Don't give up silly fouls in your defensive half. Presents opportunities from the set pieces. Target players like Villegas in there can be very clever on the headers coming in. This is a good angle for the free kick.
Beautifully directed in. Temple unable to capitalize.
Well defended there by Hauser Ramsey. Good clearing header.
You grab that ball out of the sand pit. This is the track and soccer stadium. The track team was out here practicing before the start of the first quarterfinal. Into the match, Jordan Wicksrow, 6'1" senior from Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. Here UConn bench, 5 minutes, no fouls.
Say that's the best way to allow Temple back in this game is donating set pieces. You don't want to be doing that. Just allows the ball to be dumped into your box and put you under pressure. It's something you want to have happen. Of course, on the other side of the ball, Temple don't want to concede any fouls because that just makes seconds tick off the clock.
There's Greenberg. It was the first year since 2015 that 6 teams are participating in this postseason tournament.
I like the vision of Mbakita Jam coming back to the ball, realizing that the right flank was open, just chips the ball out in that direction. UConn unable to keep possession, lose it on the throw-in, but it's great vision from the senior.
A very entertaining player to watch, Matt, but fundamentally very sound as well. I mean, smart player. Cross, good opportunity off the head, ricocheting off of Bilal Muhammad, who has the only score of the night for the Owls. A ball deflected off a UConn defender and lofted fortuitously over the head of Catalano. And that was the first goal of the night.
You see a goal that was scored like that, you think maybe it's going to be Temple's night. Such a strange bounce, but it wasn't to be. Again, Temple just running out of ideas once they get into the attacking third. Miscommunication, not connecting the passes when they need to. It's really been the difference between the two teams in large part tonight. UConn have plenty of ideas once they get into the heady heights of their attacking third. Temple not connecting the passes. The crosses have not been good enough.
Yes. Gianluca, only his 3rd start of the season. Certainly doing his job tonight. Austin Aviza has started 14 times in goal. Junior from Medway, Massachusetts. Well, Muhammad with the lone goal. As you said, he was fortunate to be in this match. With the slap of the face to was it Soleil or?
It was Metzler.
Metzler, yeah.
Metzler that was involved.
He was fortunate the ref did not see that one.
So at that point, it felt like everything was going the way of Temple, but UConn found a way to get back in the match. Started to connect some passes, executing.
Well, Haley will get a word with the player of the match, and a couple of good candidates for UConn. Yates advancing. Running clock. This could be it. Baki Jam, as you said, Matt, candidate for player of the game, 2 assists. Harris with a goal and tremendous activity. And you mentioned Venner as well. Ignited this team off of the bench.
3, 2, 1, 0.
And that will end this one. The UConn Huskies marching on with an impressive 3-1 victory over a feisty Temple Owl team. See the Owl players sitting down and upset. And there's those two that went at it in the first half, Muhammad and Metzler. And let's hope they get everybody off the field and keep the good sportsmanship and class that is shown throughout this conference. And also Fernandez getting involved.
Fernandez just needs to go away and be quiet. Ray Reed is going over towards his player to sort things out. Frustration, understandably so, for the Temple Owls.
All right, Haley's down on the sideline with our key player, Haley.
Dayon, you were able to tack that second goal on for your team. How did that shift the momentum in the second half?
I mean, we had a lot of opportunity on net, but we just couldn't find the net. We just we had a lot of opportunity, but we just couldn't find the back of the net. But I think that shifted the game really well, and we were able to get a third one. Cool.
7 shots for you tonight. What was working so well offensively?
I think the movement was really well. It was really good by Abdu, Cole, and I. That's something that we haven't really been doing as much, but today we honed in on that, and I think we did well.
Your team has put together a special season up to this point. How locked in is your team, focused, ready to go for each game, especially here in the conference tournament in a win-or-go-home situation?
I mean, we had a little bit of a downfall a game ago, but we're really locked in right now, and we hope to do really well moving forward.
How does this team get ready for UCF on Thursday night?
I know that's a big game, but we're gonna head back to the locker room and just prepare, recover, and just prepare for the next game. Take it one game at a time.
Thanks, Dayon. Good luck Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Haley. Dayon Harris scores his 5th goal of the season. And see if we can get Coach as well. Let's see if Coach Reed is available after this one. The two teams have been separated. All right, Haley.
Coach, your team was able to tack on 2 goals in the second half. How happy were you with how your team responded from being down a goal?
Our guys are resilient. All year they've been resilient. They do everything the hard way. I'm very proud of them, and, we're going to play a very, very difficult Central Florida team Thursday night, but at least we're still around for another game.
Abdu wasn't able to put it in the back of the net tonight, but 2 assists.
Abdu was huge.
What was his impact on the game tonight?
Abdu was huge tonight.
What can your team take away from this game into the semifinal against UCF?
We got to recover tomorrow and then play a very difficult Central Florida team on Thursday night, but we're excited to still be part of it.
Thanks, Frank. Good luck.
Thanks.
That about sums it up. Abdu was huge tonight. 2 assists, drawing the defense and doing everything. Here's some of the highlights of this competitive match, quarterfinal number 2.
It was a really competitive game. Lots of emotion from both sets of players. Physical challenges all over the pitch. Both teams a little lucky in the first half to find the back of the net. This one off the own goal. Lena did a really good job being involved in the play. And then the goal that was scored by Temple was also fortuitous. But there's nothing fortuitous about the goal that Harris scored. The movement was sublime. The pass from Mbake Jam was fantastic. The finish even better.
So on behalf of Scott Railing and L2 Productions, Director Carl Harper, along with Martin Winterstrom and Dustin Gunch, my partner Matt Stuffington, Haley out and down on the field, I'm Ari Shannock saying thanks for watching the American Digital Network.